Hi again. Welcome to this week's episode of Bothered, because today is Wednesday and that's when we come out with our podcast episodes. Usually I start off by saying you might relate to this story, and I don't know. You might relate to this story, but you probably will not relate to my reaction to this story. Have you ever been somewhere and you just can tell that somebody is being a fucking bitch to you for like no reason except their own life? Like they're unhappy in their own life and they're really triggered and they find just the slightest bit of a door or a window to come in and attack you. And that's what happened to me, everybody, while I was retail shopping with my baby in a stroller. And I had to get somebody back, and it's a little bit embarrassing on my part, but I also think it is fucking hilarious. Tell me what you think. Hope you enjoy. Hello, it's me, Julie Kim. Welcome to Bothered, my little podcast about being bothered. Every week I share short stories.
Living like this, I might lose it.
They're mostly real situations that have happened to me. You wouldn't believe some of them, or maybe you would. Maybe you can relate.
Living like this, I might lose it.
This week's episode occurred a number of years ago when I was walking around Vancouver, BC, Canada, where I live, with my daughter, who at the time was in a stroller, and she was very, very small. My husband and I used to walk her around or drive her around in order to help her nap. She was just one of those babies that needed movement to nap. So I would strategically do my errands when she was supposed to nap. And this particular day, first I must say, this means that we kept her in the stroller for a very long time. I mean, an unreasonable period of time. I'm not one of those people who's like, I'm going to breastfeed my daughter until she's 5. We do know those people. They're fucking weird. But I did keep her in a stroller because that was a matter of my own convenience. And I love to get in exercise and productivity while also, of course, taking care of my child. I kept my child in a stroller for so long that her feet would dangle over the edge of like the footrest. And I remember one time, there was this neighborhood bitch. She's one of the moms, and she was very nosy and she was very comparative, and I didn't like her at all. She was like, oh, hello. And I said hi as I was walking with my daughter, and she knows I only have one child, and she goes, oh, is that whatever my child's name is? I'm not telling you. Just to say, oh, is that your child? I thought your child was too big for the stroller. And I just nicely said yes, but then it bothered me for the next hour. I was like, what the fuck is she saying? That nosy, very judgmental bitch. But anyways, you know what? I got my 10 to 15,000 steps in that day. And most days when I had the kid, which is very important for my health, and a mother's health is very important to the well-being of the family. So anyways, I did this errand. We went out to the Pacific Center, downtown Vancouver, and I went to a store that rhymes with Aritzia. This is not at all bashing Aritzia. I was like buying something there. I'm in line, okay? I'm in line with this baby who, by the way, I did not successfully get to nap. So you may know this if you have a small child, if you are also an imperfect parent, but when your child is tired and overtired, and sometimes when they are about to fall asleep, they cry. Or did I make that up? I don't know. But she would do this thing where she would like cry because she was overtired. And there was a specific cry that my husband and I could detect was the overtired cry. And we knew that she would fall asleep in a matter of moments. So those were kind of the only cries that we would like kind of ignore, or we would know that they had some utility and that they were part of a process, and eventually she would be asleep. Did this happen as I'm in line with people in front of me and behind me at this retail store? Yes, it did. But you know what? I'm entitled to have a baby in a stroller wherever I go. It's okay if she cries a little bit. It's not like she was crying for an hour. In fact, by the time I reached the front of the line, she was not crying anymore. She was asleep. Okay. But we were in line, someone in front of me and someone behind me, and I'm with the stroller. I'm trying to like pay. And what I noticed was that somebody came from behind the counter to help the woman behind me. There was a woman that was like maybe in her 50s with like young college or like high school age daughter. And so she had served that lady and just taken her stuff and said a bunch of stuff to her, which is fine. But I wasn't sure, like maybe if I was in the right line or something like that. So I just said to the sales associate very politely, I just said, oh, is this like, am I properly in a line, or like, should I be doing something else? Like maybe checking in with the person who gave me, helped me out or something like that. And she said, no, you're fine. I was like, great. And I was happy to stay there in line. And this woman behind me, how do I describe her? Because I'm not trying to like be like, oh, she was ugly. Like, it was nothing like that. But she, was a woman with very, very dark hair. It was stringy. I'm not saying this to be mean. It just happens to be the way that it was. And she kind of like honestly had a very, very unhappy energy to her. She, in my head, and I think it's just from memory because she's a bad person in my life, in my story. I don't know who she is like in the real world or whatever, but in my story, she's a villain. And so what I picture is like, Halloween decoration where there's like a witch with dark hair and scowling and the hair is like long and like scraggly or whatever. That's how I remember her in my head because I don't actually remember what she looks like. And I'm certainly not trying to shame the way anybody looks at all. This is the picture in my head. And she's with her very lovely daughter, I'm sure. And here's the thing. So I asked the person who works at Aritzia, am I in the right place? Like blah, blah, blah. Because I noticed there's some shit going on. Like, that's all. She's like, you're good. And this woman behind me is like, yeah. I was like, what? She's like, just mind your own business. And I said, I was just asking if I'm in the right line or if I should be doing something. She's like, yeah, well, you know what? That's like not even your business, just like stand in line or whatever. And it was just so weird. What she was saying was just like so strange. And the way that she was so triggered to like yell at me for asking a simple question to somebody else and not being rude was so fucking weird. It's like this woman was walking around all day, maybe her whole fucking life, looking for a sliver of an opportunity to like yell at somebody. So I wasn't really having it. I was like, no, I'm not talking to you. I just need to buy my thing. And she said, well, at least I don't let my baby cry in a store. And I don't know what the fuck came over me in this second, but very quickly I processed that she was a fucking cunt. We'll have to bleep that. This woman's a fucking cunt. I'm getting nowhere. There's no reason. There's no logic. Like, I just want this woman to shut the fuck up. I haven't done anything wrong. So in that moment, I basically turned around and I said, yes, she was crying. She lost her father last week and she's very upset. And so we're just trying to deal with it. I'm not saying I'm proud of this, but I have told a few friends this, and some people think it's hilarious. Usually they're comedians who are also hilarious. And some people have been horrified, but I remain very entertained by the fact that I did this. I don't know why I did. I think I did this. I just wanted this woman to shut the fuck up. I didn't lie that my husband was dead to get like a free bag of chips or bottle of wine or like money or anything. I just wanted this woman to be diffused. I needed the situation gone away. I don't fucking know her. I don't care about her sympathy, but I got the satisfaction of her face draining. And after I said, yes, we lost my husband, she goes, well, I'm sorry. And I said, I don't need you to be sorry. I need you to be quiet. And then I turned around in disbelief that I fake killed my fucking husband to get this fucking bitch to shut up. And then I minded my own business. Is minded the right word? What's the plural of minded? It's not even a plural. What is the past tense of minded? I minded my own business and I checked out next at the counter at Aritzia. And then I was like over here, putting my credit card away or whatever. And then I looked to the side. That woman is fucking gone. I don't know when she left. It was probably immediate. And the daughter came up to the counter and we just happened to make eye contact. And she was very nice. And she goes, I'm really sorry. I said, thank you. I don't know if she meant like, I'm really sorry about my mom, the fucking cunt, or like, I'm really sorry for your loss. Either way, I said thank you because no, I feel bad that she has to apologize. I mean, how many times in her fucking life has she apologized for her fucking bitch mom who's gone off on people totally unjustified? She must be a horrible person, or she just might be going through a hard fucking thing. And if so, too bad. And I'm sorry. Like, I guess I'm sorry the way that she guesses she was sorry that my husband is dead. He's not dead, by the way. It's just something we say to each other, I guess. Anyways, what's the moral of the story? I feel actually very, very amused at myself that I ever did that. Of course I felt bad. I mean, is it I'm not superstitious or anything like that. I didn't say it because I wished my husband was dead. I didn't feel bad at all that I let my daughter cry a little bit in order to fall asleep or anything like that. I just told a little bit of a lie, and I don't usually do that. I actually take telling the truth very seriously. But except like, like if I'm somewhere like a lounge, and I will take an extra drink or whatever, or something like that. But I do, like in terms of like actually lying or gaslighting or anything like that, not at all. I actively, very aggressively told a lie because this fucking woman was bothering me, and I didn't feel like being bothered. I just had to hear my daughter cry, and that's what I did. But you know what? This fucking woman is what I'm bothered about. What are you doing? If you're outside, if you're in the world, if you're at a store and you're fucking miserable, fix your misery, or like ride it out, or like something like that. Don't fucking attack a random person for doing almost nothing and like create an excuse to bully someone. That's what she was trying to do, bully me. And like, it did not work out for her. She got very embarrassed because she mom shamed a widow, everybody. And that's what she took away from that. And her daughter took it away. It must have been very embarrassing. And like, I didn't think forward to think about a scenario where maybe she sees me again with my husband, although she doesn't know who my husband is. So she might just think, oh, that woman who lets her baby cry found another man. And she might be like, I feel bad for attacking her, but at least she found love again. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Bothered. I'm back here in Vancouver, BC, Canada. What am I up to? I don't know. Why don't you fucking hire me for a corporate event? Just kidding. I am actually booking for the fall and the spring for comedy clubs and theaters and things like that. And I will share that schedule with you soon. But I'm also, now that it's closer to Christmas, booking for hosting fun evenings, performing at corporate gigs and things like that. You know what I've done a few times that I really like is hosting conferences. I've hosted like 1 day and 2 day conferences, and just like making a really fun time out of a important event that might not be as fun without a comedian as a host. So yeah, anyways, I'm looking forward to doing more of that stuff. And what else? I have to get a newsletter out there, trying to make it like kind of personal. And I just got my COVID and flu shot. Took my daughter. Everyone's fine. Do what you want. I'm not going to have debate right now, especially because it's just me. But I hope you have a great week, and I hope that however it happens, that you are safe and happy. Goodbye.
Living like this, I might lose it.